since being in the Monday group with Bill Hammond. So, straight up, thank you, Bill, for giving me an excellent education in my junior and senior years in high school here. When I came with my family to Florida and lived on Pine Island, I already had a pretty strong education in science. I had done student work in the 8th grade at Johns Hopkins University. And as I got into the school that was available to me at North Fort Myers High, they found that I didn't have much more I needed to do to graduate high school. But luckily, I found out about the Monday group when I was working on helping organize the first Earth Day celebrations in 1970 here. And when they came the opportunity for 2 students from each of the 6 high schools to be involved with the Monday group, I lobbied for the position. And I worked to get the principal to say, yeah, you can go. And when I met Bill in 1971 in the Monday group of 71, 72, it clicked immediately that I was going to learn a lot of things, not only biology, but politics, skills in public speaking, and the general ability to understand that perspective and prejudices make reality in politics. And that it is necessary to be able to have an empathy for the entities that you're going to be working against when you're trying to protect nature. The development interests, the people who wanted to develop Estero Bay's North Shore in that 1971-72 period. It was important to understand what they wanted so we could present our case against that bad idea. So in those years in the Monday group, I was one of the co-chairs in both of those years, 71, 72, 72, 73. And our first year, we worked on saving Estero Bay. And among the actions we took was formation of an organization of students in all of the high schools, not just the Monday group students, called Students for Environmental Action. And we went down and lobbied the county commissioners individually and then at meetings to support the protection of Estero Bay on our first aquatic reserve. And we coordinated with adult environmental organizations. The Lee County Conservation Coalition was a very important one that we worked with. And we flooded the council chambers. And eventually, even though they had approval from the federal government and the state government, the developer did not get approval from Lee County. And that today, those areas that we work to protect, is now part of the Estero Bay Buffer Preserve State Park. In that same year, we worked together in our Monday group as a group project to do a teach-in. Remember, this is 71, we were cool. And we were going to do a teach-in and all the county commissioners to agree to come to it at Terry Park. And we did it outside and also with some inside stuff. And we showed them the Dr. Zeus film, the Lorax, which had just recently come out. And we also took and did a multi-slideshow, 2 slideshows together, with slides of nature and development in Lee County to the tune of American Pie by Don McLean. Did that with Georgia Thacker. And it was an excellent presentation. We also had circular wrap-ins where we would sit with the county commissioner, groups of students would sit around and talk about the issues. And during that time, we had already discussed, and this is in 71, 72, protecting the 6 Mile Cypress Preserve. When we'd done the field trips that we were taken out to, it was decided that we needed to do something to keep this from being turned in to the second 10-mile canal, because that was the plans for it. Ultimately, that program, that project, to get 6 Mile Cypress slough purchased, took several successive years of the Monday groups, about 6 years of work, to finally get that onto the ballot, and then the Lee County voters overwhelmingly voted to tax themselves so that could be purchased and preserved. And that's a good example of one of the things I learned in Bill and the other teachers' classes, because we did have multiple teachers. Besides Bill, there was Jim Butler, Joel Christensen, Mr. Stewart, I never learned his first name, and Rose Marie. And I spent a lot of time with Jim Butler and learned a lot about animals and did a number of different things with him as my individual projects. But the interesting thing is I learned about the persistence of vision. You had to keep on a conservation project year after year after year in order to achieve success. It's never a one and done. And the Mundy Group kept true to that, and that's why we have 6 Mile Cypress Preserve today. And so basically, I don't think I would be the kind of biologist I ended up being without having it in the Mundy Group. My original goal as a high school student was to become an academic biologist teaching in college with graduate students and that kind of legacy. But the practice of doing activities and activism in the Mundy Group later led me to doing government work at the Department of Environmental Protection, the Department of Natural Resources, and the Aquatic Reserves, and the Southwest Florida Regional Planning Council, all involved with protecting nature. And so in the end, even though I don't have a whole bunch of graduate students, I do have more than 700,000 acres of conservation land that I helped get into preservation through a wide number of projects. Wildlife underpasses in the I-75 and other places, an idea I first learned in the Mundy Group to do wildlife underpasses, and a wide variety of other protected areas, both in conservation easement and in terms of just other groups working towards things that I was able to influence over the course of my career. So thank you, Bill, and thank you to the Mundy Group. It turned out I didn't have a wasteful and confused year in high school.